Hello and welcome to D20 Woodworking, and today we're going to be playing Lorcana. Now, most people know Lorcana is the PvP game, but there is a solo mode that has come out from Ravensburger. This is a part of the Illumineer's Quest Deep Trouble box, so we're going to be playing with the cards from that box. So we're going to be using the pre-con deck that came with it. This is the Amethyst and Steel deck I'll be using, and then all the Ursula cards. So you don't have to buy anything else or extra or anything like that. You can just use what comes in that box, kind of get you into how the game works and how to play it. So I'm going to kind of not only teach how to play the solo game, but we're also going to physically play it, and I'm going to kind of teach and play at the same exact time. So before we drop down to the table, do me a huge favor, scroll down, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment, let me know if you like this game, what you like about the solo mode, do you mainly play PvP, whatever it may be. Let's go check out the table. All right, so we're going to have a 2-camera setup. We'll have one for Ursula's section, and then we'll have another one for our section over here. And we're going to also shuffle up these cards so you don't think I'm cheating or anything like that. Now, the setup for the game is pretty simple. You take out, for you, any card that you, or I'm sorry, any deck that you would like to use. The rulebook states how you can create a legal deck. If you just want to use a starter deck to start off with, that's probably the best way to start it. But the rules for how to create a legal deck are in the back of the book, any rule book that comes with it. But it is worth checking out. And really the easiest way is just to use a starter deck. Now, over on Ursula's side of things, we're going to shuffle her deck up as well. The only thing is Ursula's Stolen Trident is going to come out on the table first. So you do have that out on the table. We have her giant card, and we are doing the Battleground the encounter, which is like the easy setting, right? So it's going to have extra rules on it for us to follow. Basically, we don't draw extra cards, and we can do some things that are really helpful, and we'll get into those as we go along. Again, I'm going to kind of teach it as I play it. Now, for the rest of the setup, that's really all you have to know. We will do our mulligan first, but Ursula always goes first in this game. You don't go first, Ursula does. So what we'll do, shuffle this up, put that back, and then we're going to drop down and get our hand size of 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you are allowed to mulligan or modify your cards. We are going to get rid of kind of some of our expensive cards in the beginning because it's just not going to work great for us. Let's get rid of mouse armor and charge as well. So we're going to draw 4 cards. So this goes on the bottom of your deck. You draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have to shuffle this up. I don't know why it goes on the bottom. I'm sure there's a reason for it. But you shuffle this up. And then we'll be ready to go, and then Ursula will be ready to go. Now, the key things to remember kind of with how she works is she's essentially another player, and you're doing things from her perspective. So if it references you, it really means you as Ursula, not you as like the player. So just important to note. But all right, this is what we drew up. Ugh, don't want that card now. All right, draw up. So we'll go over to Ursula. Now, the way that she works is basically ready, set, resolve the row, draw cards, and then reveal. Right, that's her pattern. So in the beginning, it's really easy. There's nothing to ready up. There's no set turn effects. You don't have to worry about that. But we do have to do the row. So you go from left to right, and you do each card that is currently in that row. So this one's pretty simple. It just says, it's my power. You exhaust this card to gain 1 lore. So she is up to 1 lore now. Now we draw cards. We always start with 2 in the very beginning. In the rule book, if you open it up, you will see that it will show exactly for if you're playing co-op or different amount of players what your card draw should be. For a 2-player, it's 2 cards, 3-player, it's 3 cards, and 4-player, it's 3 cards. And then there would be more cards possibly depending on how much lore there is, but because we're doing easy, that will not show up. So we do not have to worry about that as much. Okay. So next we draw cards, which is currently 2. So we're going to take the top 2 cards, and then we're going to reveal 1 card at a time. Now, before we reveal, we might as well go through the reveal rules really fast. One at a time, Ursula reveals and acts on every card in her hand. This is her hand. So turn the card over, reveal it. Then check if the amount of ink in her inkwell will allow her to play it. If she doesn't have enough, she will, or if she does have enough, she just has to have it. So if Ursula has enough ink in her inkwell to play the reveal card, she does so for free. If the card is an item, place at the end of her row. If it's an action, resolve its effects. If she doesn't have enough ink, play the reveal card, put it in her inkwell face down. Okay, so that's how she's going to ink cards and kind of like balance the game out a little bit for us. So the first card that she has is Tsunami, which is a 7-cost card. Well, she doesn't have 7 yet, so we're going to put this down, face down in her inkwell. Now, she doesn't have to exhaust the ink, she just has to physically have the cards, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Next up is Bruno. He is a 2-cost card, but she only has 1 ink in there, so she now doesn't have enough for the 2, so we ink that card as well. All right, so we revealed all of her cards. Her turn is now done. It goes over to our side of things. Now, the first thing for our side, in case you're not familiar with Lorcana and how it works, on your turn, you ready up all your cards. You do your start of turn effects. It's ready, set, draw. There is no set things. There's no ready up things because there's nothing on our table yet, but we do get to draw a card. Now, during your turn, you can exhaust cards to play them. You can use items, whatever it may be. Now, right now in the beginning, there's not much we can do. What we have to do in order to play cards out on the table and pay its cost. So, for example, this card right here is a 2-cost card. We would need to exhaust 2 cards in our inkwell. That would be down here. We don't have anything yet in our inkwell. So one of the things we can do is take a card and put it face down. It is now in our inkwell. It can now be exhausted to pay for other cards up on the table. We can only put 1 card down here each turn unless there's a card effect that allows us to put extra cards down there. To go over the anatomy of a card really quick, again, the cost is in the top left. I should also mention that this symbol is a circle that's around it. That means you can ink that card. If it's a symbol like this and there's no circle around this 10, we can't put this in our inkwell, unfortunately. It will not allow us to do that. All right, so this little circle icon is the attack that we can do, and this is the defense the card has. If they take damage equal to this rightmost shield, the card is knocked out. Whatever damage you can deal from exhausting it is done with this left circle. This symbol down here is lore, and that is how you win the game. We haven't really gone over this yet because take it one step at a time. But in order for Ursula to win the game, she has to hit 40 lore. You have to hit 20. So I just have to hit 20 before she hits the 40. The only other thing to really note is this text box down here, which will explain different things as we go along. We won't get into all the different things, but some of it happens right away. Some of it happens when you attack. It changes up a lot. So right now we have 1 card in our inkwell, but we do not have any cards that cost 1. So we can't play any cards, unfortunately. Again, we're not allowed to ink another card. We can only ink one around. Okay, so that's all we can really do down here. So we'll go back up to her side of the board. So now she's going to ready up all of our cards, first and foremost. Set turn effects. There are none. Resolve the row. So to resolve the row of these cards, we exhaust this, and she gets 1 more lore, so she is now up to 2. And then she draws her cards, which is still a hand size of 2, and reveal 1 at a time. So the first one is a 3-cost card. Nothing else on this card matters. She only has 2 in her inkwell, so she is now going to have 3 over there. All right, next one is a 4-cost card. Wow, it's really working out in our favor right now. So we're going to put the 4 right next to it. Actually, we'll slide it underneath here. So she now has 4 cards in her inkwell. In the future, if she gets a 4-cost card, right, she can start playing things. So it kind of lets you set up a little bit in the beginning, hopefully. So back to our side of things, we're going to ready everything up. There's nothing to do. No start turn effects with set. So then we draw, which is another magic broom. All right, we have a lot of magic brooms, which is fine. I am going to put Lithos as our ink card. So we're going to put, because he has the symbol on top left, we're going to ink this card down here. So we now have 2 resources to work with. So I'm going to exhaust both these cards to play a magic broom. Now here's the thing. We can't do anything with this card yet. When a card comes out, it's still being drawn, so we can't do anything with the card. Next round, we can do things with this card. We'll be able to use these ink cards again to like repay for things. But as of right now, we can't do anything because the card is still being drawn. So that's all we can do right now. We still have no lore, unfortunately. So we'll jump up to Ursula's side of the table. I should also mention, because I don't think I did, you might see a tracker, a lore tracker that looks like this. And some tokens on her side. This stuff is from Buy the Same Token. They work with me a lot on different things. So if you're interested in tokens to kind of upgrade your game a bit, the link to get 5% off your order will be down below in the description. All right, so now Ursula is going to ready everything up. Set effects, there are none. So then we're going to resolve the row. So she gains 1 more lore. She is up to 3 and then draws 2 cards. Now she's probably going to be able to start playing some things because she's got 4 cards, which is a good amount. So the first one is a 4-cost card. She does have enough lore. It is a bodyguard, so an opposing character who challenges one of your characters must choose this one. This character enters play exhausted, so it's just a defender for other cards, but she doesn't have any other cards yet. All right, next one is a 2-cost. Each opposing player chooses and banishes one of their characters. Now, I am the opposing player, right? Because it's going to speak in her perspective. So I have to come down to my table, and unfortunately, I have to banish one of my characters. I only have one, so the magic brooms goes away, unfortunately, which kind of is sad. All right, that was the end of her card, or her turn. She revealed everything, so now it's our turn. We ready everything up. We do set effects, and we draw a card. Trident, okay. I'm going to ink the trident. So we have 3 cards now in the ink well. I'm going to exhaust 2. No, we'll exhaust 3 to put in a magic broom. Again, that magic broom is now being drawn, so there's nothing I can do with it yet. But hopefully in the future we can. So that's everything we can do. We'll go back up to Ursula's side of the board, and we'll ready up all of our cards. Do set turn effects. There are none. Now we resolve the row. So the first one we do is gain 1 lore. So this is up to 4. Now, the way her attacking works is pretty interesting. She has to have an actual keyword. And so we'll talk through the rules really fast. So resolving the cards. If an item has an ability with an extra cost, Ursula exerts the card to use the ability. If a character can quest, they do. Exert them as usual. So we're going to be exerting that. If they can't quest and have reckless, they challenge. The player chooses a character of theirs that can be challenged as defender, and the challenge proceeds normally. So we won't worry about like the law details with this, but there is no reckless on here, and they can quest. So they're going to quest, brings their total up to 6. So they're 6 out of 40 already done. Now she's going to draw her 2 cards. First one is a 3-cost card. So if you have 6 or less, put the top 3 cards of your deck into your inkwell. So she does have 6 or less. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have 7 or more, we have to banish one of our characters, but we don't have that. So we have to take the top 3 cards of your deck and put it face down your inkwell. So that's going to give her a total of 7 cards over here, which is bad for us because it's basically going to let her play pretty much everything at this point. All right, her next card is 5-cost Typhoon. Return all opposing exerted characters to their player's hands. Now, over on our table, we don't have any exerted characters. They're still face up, so we don't have to do anything, right? Everything's good there. That's the end of her turn, and now it comes over to us. So we ready? Start turn effects. We have that, and we draw a card. So we have charge. We're gonna put charge in the inkwell for now, and then we're gonna exhaust 2 cards to play a broom, and exhaust 2 more to play another broom. Again, these cards can't do anything yet, so we're not gonna worry about that. But this broom can. This can get us a lore, or we could attack this card up on Ursula's. The problem with Ursula's card is it's a 5/5 stat line, and it's going to absolutely crush our card. Now, I don't think that's worth it yet. So we are going to exhaust this card to gain 1 lore. That puts us on the board with 1 lore. All right, that's pretty much everything we can do. So let's go over to her side of the table. Now, we have to ready all of our stuff up. Set turn effects. There are none. Resolve the row. This gains 1, so she's up to 7. This gains 2 lore, so it's up to 9. Draw 2 cards. All right, first one is Captain Hook. She does have 5 lore, so we can put this into play. It comes into play right down there. All right, next one is the Crown. So it's going to allow her to draw extra cards moving forward, which is going to be really strong for her. Actually, let's just stack more cards in that corner because it's going to take up a lot of space. One of the things you can do, if you have it, you can take a die and put it on there. I should have actually gotten a die out, but that's all right. All right, that's everything that she has going on. Now it's our turn. So we ready, set, draw. So ready everything up. Luckily, we have a decent amount of cards out there. We got some of our brooms, which is good. We might do this. We might deal some damage to a character, but we'll see. All right, what we'll do, what I want to do first is quest. So I'm going to quest with these two. Just two? Yeah, we're going to do the two and gain 2 lore. So we have 2, 3 we're up to on here. Now, on the encounter card, it states that we players have extra abilities. So we can spend lore, 1 lore to remove 2 damage from a chosen character, 2 to ready or exert chosen character, or 3, chosen player draws 2 cards. I'm actually going to spend all 3 of my lore to draw 2 cards. So we're going to draw 2. And we got Pyros and the Sorcerer's Hat. I'm going to take the Sorcerer's Hat and I'm going to ink it. So now we're up to 5 cards. The reason being is because I would like to use 1, 2, 3 cards to play Smash. The way Smash works is it says you deal 3 damage to a chosen character. I'm going to deal 3 damage to her chosen character, which is Flotsam over there. So let's get some damage tokens out. These, again, are from buy the same token. They have like normal damage ones you can use, but I don't really have them anymore. So we deal 3 damage to that card. We're back down to our side of the table now. I'm going to make a challenge to Flotsam, who we just damaged. I can challenge that card because Flotsam is exhausted. If their card like Captain Hook that's upright, I can't challenge that card. They have to be exhausted. So they attack each other at the same exact time. I'm going to exhaust my card and deal 2 damage to Flotsam, and Flotsam's going to deal 5 damage to my card. It's going to knock out both cards at the same exact time. So we get rid of Flotsam on her side. I get rid of my magic brooms, which is sad, but we knocked out one of her cards, hopefully making our lives a little easier. I'm also going to exhaust the last 2 cards of my Inkwell to play Magic Broom. Again, this is a new card in here. It's being drawn, so we can't currently do anything with that card yet. All right, that's going to be our entire hand. Now we go over to Ursula. We ready everything up. We do set turn effects, which there are none, and then we go in a row. So first she gains a lore, so she's up to 10. Now she draws a card, so we put 1 there. And Hook does 2 lore, so it's up to 12. She draws 2 cards like normal, unfortunately. And then we resolve the 3 she now has. So first one is Bruno. That is going to come into play. When you play this character, each opposing player puts the top 3 cards of their deck into their discard. So again, I am the opposing player. So I'm going to take 3 cards from my discard and put it, top 3 cards of my deck and put it in my discard pile. All right, next one is Jetsam now comes in. When you play this character, deal 1 damage to each opposing character, which stinks a lot. So 1 damage gets there. 1 damage gets put on there. And 1 damage gets put on there. All right. And then her last card is Anna. Now, it is 6 costs, but she has 7 cards in there, so it's evasive, so we can't really do much against it, but she has a lot going on. This is not ideal for us, for sure. All right, back down to us. Now, we ready everything up? And hopefully it can start making some moves here, because it's not looking great. All right, Pyros would be strong. It might be worth doing. Okay, when you play this character, chosen character gains resist for the next end of your turn. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quest for 3. So we're going to get 3 lore. I'm immediately going to spend all 3 of that lore to draw 2 cards. All right, Magic Broom and another Magic Broom. All right. Let's do... Face card if you have a sorcerer. Boy. Okay, let's do this Magic Broom. Right, we're going to play this one. It's going to cost us 5. It is a rush, so we could challenge the round that it's played, but we're not going to do that. But when you play this character, you may shuffle all broom cards from your discard pile into your deck. So we are going to do that. We just have 2, so we're going to shuffle those back into our deck. Unfortunately, she's going to start getting a lot of lore, so we have to make a push somewhat soon or try to do lots of damage, but I don't know how well it's going to work. I really need to get my Mickey out or Yen Sid. We're not quite there yet. So, okay. That's the end of our turn. Now it goes up to her, and she's going to ready everything up. Okay. First thing we do is ready, set. There is nothing to do when you play this character. Evasive, that's fine. So now we go through. So she gains 1 lore there. She gets to draw a card. Hook now gets 2 more lore, so it's up to 15. Bruno gets another lore, so it's up to 16. Jetsim's up to 17. And Anna's 18, 19. And then she draws her 2 normal cards. First one is the Mad Hatter comes into play because it costs 2. Next one is Ursula's Contract. Opposing players can't use battleground abilities. At the start of your turn, banish this item to gain 3 lore, which stinks a lot. So we'll put that there because we can't use it. Hopefully that will remind us. And then last card she has is Triton's Daughters. All right, she's got a lot in that battlefield. So we could decide to start attacking her cards if we want to, or at least some of them. But man, they have a lot of health. I'm not 100% sure what to do yet. She's about to gain a lot of lore. So let's ready everyone up. Again, we're kind of looking for Mickey here. But I don't know if we're going to get Mickey. Draw our card. Okay. Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now what we could do is second star to the right. So we could sing together and any number, or sing together 10. Any number of your teammates' characters with total cost of 10 or more may sing this for free. I'm thinking we want to do second star to the right and start trying to get some cards. It would allow us to draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be a lot of cards, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It might be worth it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now let's do the massive card draw. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to sing second star on the right. We get to draw 5 cards. So we're going to do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's do. I'm going to use friends on the other side and put it as a resource. So we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. I do like the idea of smashing something. We can smash one of her 3 cost cards and knock it out, which could be helpful. What is the state? When you play this character, all right, we don't have to worry about that. We could do smash. We can start getting some other cards in. We did ink a card, right? Yeah, we inked that one, which is fine. All right, let's do smash. So we'll do 1, 2, 3 cards to play smash. We get to deal 3 damage to a chosen character. We're gonna deal it to Jetsim. Might as well knock him out. He's got 5 attack, so she loses Jetsim. All right, back down our board. We still got 3 ink to work with. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3 to play Benja. So he comes into play. Now, he states that when you play this character, you may banish a chosen item. We are going to banish a chosen item over on her board. I don't want her getting all this extra card draw. So I'm going to get rid of that hex. So that is gone. I don't mind the 1 lore. We can deal with that at a time, but the extra card draw is rough. All right. That card's being drawn, so we can't do anything with it yet. We used all of our ink, but Magic Broom can still do something with 2 damage. It's not really a lot. So let's just do 1 lore. We'll quest with 1. That'd be good. Okay, cool. Goes back up to Ursula's side of the table, who's going to ready everything up. Set turn effects. There are none. Resolve the road. So first, she's got to draw a card. She's now up to 20. Now, normally with this, she would get to draw an extra card, but on the beginner card setting, she doesn't draw an extra card, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, Hook is going to quest for 2, so it's up to 22. Bruno for a third one is 23. Anna gets up to 25. This gets up to 26. This gets her up to 27. And then we get rid of this card, which brings her up to 30. So she's only 10 away. She's probably going to hit that pretty soon. We're going to draw 2 cards. Hopefully we can make a push or something crazy, deal some damage. Mickey Mouse, when you play this character, each opposing player loses 2 lore. So we go down from 1 to nothing. She does have 7 over here. That's why she can play it. And then finally, her next card is Captain Hook, which comes into play. All right. That's rough. I have to ready everything up. she has enough to basically win the game. So we either have to find some damage or do something tricky. So we ready, set, draw. Mouse armor. Okay. This character bashes. Yeah, I think she's just going to have enough to win, unfortunately, because it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She's going to have 12 lore she's going to be able to get, unless we can do some damage, which we might have to do, actually. Okay, so let's do... If we do mouse armor, does it help someone survive? It might help magic broom. Yeah, we're going to have to take out some cards. We're going to have to deal some major damage. I was hoping to do some stuff, but that's all right. So we're going to exhaust 2 to play mouse armor. It's being drawn, so we can't use it yet. But I'm hoping that helps in the longer run. We're about to knock out a bunch of our own cards, so we might as well do some stuff. So we'll play 1, 2, 3 to play this magic broom. Now, when you play this character, a chosen character gets resist +1. Luckily, we have a card for that somewhere, or a thing. There we go. We'll put resist on magic broom to get to survive a little bit. So that you know what resist is. Resist states when you play this character, chosen character gains resist for +1. Damage dealt to them is reduced by 1. That's on the resist character, not on the character we just played. All right, so we have 1 card left. We'll use it, or 1 resource left. Yeah, we'll just play that card with our last resource. Okay. So we have a lot of cards to work with up here to deal some damage. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to start taking out things here because, again, she's going to start questing for a lot. Magic Broom is going to attack 4 against Bruno? Does that make sense? Actually, let's do... Yeah, against Bruno. And it's going to knock out Bruno. Bruno's going to deal 3 damage to us. Reason being because it would normally be 4. Again, let me pull the card down. We're dealing damage to Bruno. He's a 4/4, but we resist 1 of the attacks, so we only take 3 damage. So Bruno on her side is knocked out. Next, I think I'm going to go for against Captain Hook here. And I think we're going to use both these brooms to take out Captain Hook, who was exhausted on her table. First guy attack with 1 card. It's going to deal 2 damage to Captain Hook. It's going to knock out this broom. Then do it again. It's going to knock out this broom. So both these brooms are knocked out, but her Captain Hook is knocked out as well. All right, so on her side of the board, so you can see it really fast, she's got Anna, which is a 5/6. She's got Triton's Daughters, which is a 2/3, and she got 3/5 over here. We could probably take out Triton's Daughters. This is 4 damage. It's not enough for this. Yeah, let's take out the Daughters. These are still being drawn in, so we can't do anything yet. So Magic Broom is going to attack Triton's Daughters. Does 2 damage to me, so I'm at 3 damage, which is fine. And does 2 to this card. And then we use Benja, which is also going to take 2 damage, but does the final 2 to Triton's Daughters, knocking it out. Benja takes 2 damage. All right, cool. I think that's everything we could do. This all stays here. Mouse armor we can use next turn, hopefully. Go up to Ursula's side of things, where she's at least a little more beat up. She shouldn't win now. We hopefully get 1 more turn. All right, Trident's going to gain 1 lore, brings up to 31. Anna is going to gain 2 lore, brings up to 33. Mad Hatter's 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Again, when you play this character, it doesn't have any extra things on it. Now she's going to draw 2 cards. So first one that she draws is Ursula's Contract. Oh, no. So she's going to get the win because of that for sure. It's a rough card to get. And the next one is Triton's Daughters again come into play. This is going to be my last turn for sure. So let's ready everything up. Ursula's Contract is going to get her the win. There's not really much else we can do, unfortunately. We'll draw a card. There's finally our Mickey Sorcerer. which we needed kind of in the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We could play Mickey. Whenever one of your broom characters is banished in a challenge, you may return them to your hand, which is really nice because we can keep recycling the brooms. And we'd also pay 1 less for a broom. So we could get this broom in for only 1, for example, and we would have been able to kind of go a little bit better. All we can really do is quest, because again, she's going to win. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 lore is not nearly enough. We're only at 7. And then her next turn, she's going to get the win. We can just pop over. Actually, I don't think we had any other cards. Yeah. So this would all ready up. First thing we have to do is just resolve the cards. At the start of your turn, banish this card, gain 3 lore. She's up to 40. That's it. Hopefully this game just gives you an idea of how to play Ursula solo, just to get a rough idea of how to go through the motions, what the cards do, what it all means. Hopefully it helps you out. She's really tough. She is really, really, really tough, even on easy. This deck, unfortunately, I just didn't get Mickey Mouse or Yen Sid out early enough. Again, the starter decks, if you spent more time kind of taking out some of the weaker cards and putting in some other strong cards, some more brooms or different things, this would be a really good deck to kind of take her apart, but it needs to be refined a little bit. But anyway, hopefully this helps you get through the process. Hopefully helps explain some of the basic rules for you. Again, I love this game. It's a really good challenge. Once you start deck building and start getting more cards, you'll definitely do a much better job with this, or at least better than I did. So I appreciate you all taking time to watch this, and I will see you all next time.